Welcome
to New Entry Wrestling Podcast, baby. Welcome back to New Entry Wrestling Podcast. I am your host, Sexy Ian, with my co-host, Ever. What it do, baby?
Alright, hey Ian, hey listeners, before we get started, please go check out our merch store on teespring.com. Search for New Entry Wrestling Podcast. We got cool shirts and more. Also go follow us on Instagram and TikTok at New Entry Wrestling Pod. And check us out on YouTube. Like and subscribe. Thank you.
Well, Mr. Ever. How's your so-called vacation?
That was great.
Oh, yeah? Yeah.
Busy.
I bet.
We're traveling, man.
Must be nice. Anyways, because you want to go on vacation, all that, apparently you got money like that. A lot has been going on, man. So what's up? How was Money in the Bank, first of all? Let's talk about that.
That was great, man. I love the atmosphere. People say, like, anyone didn't like the atmosphere, but I love the atmosphere of Las Vegas. And, like, the crowd there was pretty good.
That's nice.
Yeah, it's not Chicago, obviously. It's not a Chicago crowd, but it's up there, It's like, they have their own vibe out there, too,
Interesting. So what would you say you would prefer being in the city of?
Chicago, for sure.
Really?
I mean, we're from Chicago, but, like, just the crowd itself. But yeah, like, the Money in the Bank crowd was awesome, especially, like, with Liv Morgan and, like, when she won. And then when Theory won, we're all booing, like, super hard.
Yeah, when Liv Morgan won, I marked out. Because of the way how she was set up in the ladder, I'm like, she's facing the hard cam. Her back is facing the hard cam. And I'm like, oh, somebody's going to push her off or something like that. She's not going to win, but she ended up winning. So I was like, that was a great moment. And the fact that she cashed in and everybody marked out, but then everybody was like, oh, she's going to lose. But she ended up winning, so...
Dude, you saw my video, right? You see the video where she pinned Ronda Rousey? Yeah. We see everybody's like, oh my god.
Everybody went crazy, man.
Dude, yeah.
Even your brother took off his shirt. I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
But...
That's pretty fun, though.
Yeah, man.
I recommend it. If you guys ever go to, like, Vegas, go to a pay-per-view, or whatever probably next year, then. Who knows?
Yeah. But, what was I going to say? What else happened? Oh yeah, Theory won. That was
predictable.
Pretty predictable, but I didn't want to believe it until I saw it. Cause to be honest, it was like, it was cool, but I hate when people, cause it ruined the match. Yeah. So leading into this pay-per-view, you had Drew McIntyre, Madcap, Omos, Riddle, Sami Zayn, Seth freaking Rollins, and Sheamus. People were saying it was most likely Seth Rollins because the original plan was Cody Rhodes. And then people are saying it's going to be Seth freaking Rollins or Sami Zayn. There's a chance it could be Drew McIntyre because of the overseas paper. What is it called? Clash at the Castle?
Yeah.
So people were saying those three may be the ones who are going to win.
Yeah.
But still, you still had Sheamus, you had Madcap, where you're like... You had Omos, so it's like the group of men that were in this match. It's like, man, who's gonna win?
Yeah.
Who's gonna win? And then Theory shows up, and it's like, well, I don't care for this match no more because I know he's gonna win now. You ruined it.
Yeah.
You should have had it. Something similar to what Brock Lesnar did. You know how he showed up towards the end.
Yeah.
That's what they should have done. Because then that would have been like a big FU. I probably would have enjoyed it more.
Yeah.
But,
So the second he got in, you're like, oh, no.
It's like he's the winner. So now everything you guys do, it doesn't mean anything because he won. It ruins the spots for everybody. Because it's like everybody, for example, I don't remember too much about the match. But just imagine like Sheamus taking a suplex off the top of the ladder to the announce table where it's like, why would you do that knowing damn well this guy's gonna win? Shouldn't Theory take that bump and make him like, make it look like he's not gonna win because he took a big bump?
Well, Almost is cool too. You saw that? Like,
Yeah, he was pretty
powerbomb.
close. Yeah.
We're like, boom. 'Cause he
Yeah,
was,
that
like,
group. Yeah. What would you even say? That was a power bomb. That was more like, I forgot what's it. Or
Like, you're going to sacrifice somebody and then
Yeah.
throw him in a pit.
yeah, it's like yeek.
Yeet.
But you know, but hey, so now Theory may cash in on Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar at
Ooh.
SummerSlam. What's your thoughts on that?
Man. Well, they do want to, because both Brock and Roman are part-timers. So this would Theory have that full-time guy, young guy, and then probably
Right.
and it'll be an excuse to face John Cena at Clash of the Castle. John Cena's filming. He's filming. What's that?
Peacemaker, right?
Too. So it
But
probably
what?
to wrap up filming by
No,
like,
because Clash at the Castle is September 3rd.
yeah. So they probably film for like 3 months. So he's been filming.
I thought he just started production.
I don't remember actually.
Yeah,
Recently, but I don't know. He might even show up at Extreme Rules.
I highly thought that, but I don't know. I feel like, first of all, so you just said it earlier. Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns, both part timers. Do you personally think? So, was it last month Roman Reigns became a part timer? But it's more of he's not doing house shows unless it's like Madison Square Garden, you know, the big arenas. Roman Reigns, do you think Roman Reigns went part time at a bad time? Especially like leading on to the summer.
Yeah, because you have you would do it like between, I don't know, like I think there's like a gap between SummerSlam, no, Survivor Series till Royal Rumble.
Right.
It's like a 3 month. It's like 3 months gaps. Cause
Right.
Like
So I
Every
I
quarter.
get what you're saying. I feel like Royal Rumble to WrestleMania,
it's a gap of like 3 months.
like you need to like. I feel like that's the time you need to be a full timer.
Yeah.
But then WrestleMania to SummerSlam, it's like, sure, take the time off.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, for this time, it was a bad call for Roman Reigns to go part time, and I don't know why Vince approved it,
Oh, he's out.
because it's like, well, at that time he wasn't out. I don't know why he approved it, because it's like, or gave him a new contract. I don't know what the agreement or how this new term came about. But Roman Reigns, they had big three stadiums coming up: Money in the Bank, SummerSlam, and Clash at the Castle. Why would you have your Roman Reigns, your top guy, your WWE Universal Champion, go part time when you have not one, not two, but three back-to-back stadiums
Yeah.
you need to fill up? Why would you have him go part time?
I would go after Clash of the Castle.
Right.
Like after that, okay, go part.
Because it's a week. It's a week after SummerSlam, right? Or is it the same week?
Same-
No,
it's the same week.
no,
No,
no. A week. Yeah, a week
And
after.
then after that, you can go up to Survivor Series. Survivor Series is more like a 6-on-6 anyways. They do like
Yeah.
It's more of a tag team. 6
Or
on 6.
Raw versus SmackDown
Yeah.
kind of deal.
So it's like so they kind of Vince dropped the ball on that. He could have just you know what, just work these three. Because Money in the Bank, honestly, I think it would have been at Allegiant if they announced Roman Reigns. But since they announced Roman
They
Reigns,
should have had Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar at Money in the Bank.
That would have been okay. Let's fill out the stadium.
Right. Yeah.
That's why they had to. That's why they said, "Oh, we can't sell tickets because you're champ." Obviously, you combine the two belts, so it kind of
You're his job is to sell tickets.
Yeah.
That's why he does house shows. That's why John Cena, now people will admit it now because they appreciate John Cena because obviously he's gone.
Yeah.
But that's why John Cena is the best of all time, because champion or not, he was always on house shows.
Yeah,
Always.
and he sold out.
Always.
consoles.
He sold all the house shows. So John Cena said it to himself. You should be ashamed. I could do this better. You should be ashamed I'm a part-timer because I could do this better part-time than you could ever do it full-time. He just proved it.
And you're
Why is he? Because they can't do house shows no more because Roman Reigns doesn't sell that much.
Yeah.
He comparing to John Cena, because if he actually did sell tickets, he will still continue being part-time. I mean, full-time, and Vince would just pay him more, because whatever comparing to what they make on house shows, they get part of the venue or something, like the ticket sale. So it's like, clearly that's why you don't want to do it, because you're not selling.
Yeah,
You can't sell out
He
house
has both
shows.
titles, so like give the belt to like give one of the belts to like somebody else, you know.
That's the other. But here's
Because when we went to Money in the Bank, like okay, we're not expecting a man's championship match, okay?
Yeah.
I'm like okay, Roman Reigns is here, so I'm like okay, so obviously the Money in the Bank is the appeal, the women's and men's match, and obviously the SmackDown women's match, but like the reason why I didn't like with Allegiant, it was like Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas. Like if Roman Reigns was there and announced, even if he faced like Drew McIntyre there, that would have been great.
right.
But like he was not even.
Well, the
there,
original plan was supposed to be Matt Riddle, and then SummerSlam was going to be Randy Orton, and then Clash at the Castle.
Mm-hmm.
It was going to be Drew McIntyre, and apparently that's where Roman Reigns was going to drop the title to Drew, and then apparently either the next pay-per-view or even Survivor Series, Roman Reigns was going to win the title back.
Wow.
And then apparently he was going to drop the title at the Royal Rumble or WrestleMania. But there's rumors saying, one, The Rock is not going to be at WrestleMania. Two, Roman Reigns versus The Rock, it doesn't need a title.
Right.
It really doesn't.
It's more running the family, like I
Right.
run the family.
Because it's like, okay, Roman Reigns beats The Rock and retains the title. It's like, okay, and what? But at least this way, we're no title. And then if The Rock wins, that's the cool moment. But it's like, okay, now cool. We have another part-timer again. When is he going to drop the belt? At WrestleMania Backlash? I mean, don't get me wrong. That'll be cool. But
Do you think having like a guy like Theory, I'm not saying like, just in that category of people that are full-time, younger, like him,
right.
he could hold the belt and be a heel. Obviously, nobody likes him.
I don't... My thing is, I love Brock Lesnar, right?
Yeah.
Especially babyface Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I love him current, but when he was a babyface back then, you know, I loved him, you know, how he was back then. But it's just now, it's like Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar, SummerSlam, Last Man Standing. I don't want Theory to win the title, but I feel like he's going to, because he'll be the first and tied with Randy Orton as the youngest WWE champion, but he'll be the first ever youngest WWE champion, because Randy Orton was world heavyweight.
Yeah.
But in general, he was the first. But then, so Theory would be the first for the WWE title, but tied with Randy Orton overall.
Yeah.
And it'll be the second time it happened at SummerSlam. So it's like, that alone, that's pretty cool and impressive. But at the same time, it's like, I don't really see it, and I don't want it to happen. Only because of Clash of the Castle. Take that away, okay, Theory winning the title that night, I'm on board.
Yeah.
But because Clash of the Title, it's like, if Theory is champion, I don't want to see Theory versus Drew McIntyre.
No.
I want to see Drew versus Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
Drew versus Roman Reigns. That's what I want to see. I don't want to see Drew versus Theory.
Yeah.
Not yet.
Because right now, it shows that Clash of the Castle sold 60,000 out of 72,000. But they got 12,000 seats to go, to fill. So, the only way they could fill those 70 extra 12,000 is to get Roman Reigns there.
And
Or
Brock
Brock.
Lesnar.
Yeah.
But
Once
then-
you get that,
but
those
it-
tickets are going to sell, like, fast. 12,000 are gone.
I think John Cena should make an appearance. I don't think he should wrestle, but just to show up and
I
be like,
swear,
I'm here.
We were in the arena, right, when Theory won. Because he took his time. I don't know if you noticed that. I don't know if they showed on TV. I don't know what part they showed, but he was out there for a while. And we're all, like, waiting there. You know how you, like, Marvel, at the end of the movie, you know there's going to be something afterwards?
Oh, after the show.
That anticipation.
Right.
We're going to be like, John Cena's going to come out. Because Theory's talking smack. He came back and he was talking on the mic. We're like, John Cena's got to show up. This is going to be a little teaser.
Right.
Whereas music hits even. Nothing. I'm like, that could have been if I would have been like, you know what? Let's do this to the people. Let's mess with them. Let's just play his song.
Right.
Like, Theory's talking smack about John Cena's like, John Cena ain't got
Was it
nothing."
really, though?
Yeah, he was.
Oh, wow.
So I haven't seen the pay-per-view like on Peacock, so
Right.
I was there. I'll probably watch it. But there's a part where he was out there for a while talking about like, I'm the greatest, and he was talking about like this and that. And then I'm like, oh, I wish they teased us with a little bit of like John Cena's song. He's like, he would have been like, oh, I'm messing with you guys. He's not gonna show up tonight. He's not in Vegas. He's in Los Angeles. Something like that. Right? That would have been nice. And then all of a sudden the audience that were there would be like, damn, that might happen. But nothing happened. We're like waiting, like sometimes if you see a Marvel movie without like a credit, you're like, what the hell?
Right. Yeah.
And now you expect it every time you watch a Marvel movie, but like.
Now everybody stays till the end.
Yeah. But we waited, like, I was waiting there. I'm like, okay, at least John Cena's music might hit. Nothing like that. I'm like, that would have been a little teaser because they were talking smack to each other. Man. So I wish that kind of happened. So I'm like,
So, and, well, now here's the confusing part because Theory's facing Bobby Lashley SummerSlam.
Yeah.
I don't remember when, but I think it was because, I don't even know when this episode is going to come out. So I'm all confused on my days. But Dolph Ziggler came out and super kicked Theory.
Yeah.
So now it's like, it's a little confusing. So now Theory's probably a babyface now. What's going on with Bobby Roode? And
Ziggler's a babyface.
Yeah. So Dolph Ziggler's a babyface now. And then Theory's facing Bobby Lashley. So now I'm all confused. Why did Dolph Ziggler kick him? Why did he super kick him?
I think it's going to be a triple threat match.
That's weird.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, I guess, but that would make sense if Theory was champion.
Yeah.
Because why would you super kick Theory? You would have super kicked Bobby Lashley and then Theory.
I think they're going to use Ziggler as like a veteran, like the veteran storyline.
To push him up there.
Yeah. And then Theory's going to beat Lashley, I don't know when, maybe at not SummerSlam. I'll be the Clash at the Castle or at Extreme Rules. And then he has a U.S. title and the Money in the Bank. He's like, then he's going to elevate himself into more. You never know, they might give him all the belts besides the.
Man.
Might give him the Intercontinental title too. Like, I'm both Intercontinental and U.S. champion and Money in the Bank. And he's like, I'm going to cash all of them in for a dirty title match.
You know what would be cool though? Theory walking into WrestleMania facing Johnny Gargano. That'd be dope.
Or Gargano's going to come back.
Who?
Is he going to come back? Gargano?
He says that he wants to come back because he has unfinished business.
Yeah, I think
and he never really started much at the main roster.
Yeah, that's what I think. Like, if you're a wrestler and only made it to NXT, your goal should at least make it to the main roster. Even if you, like, obviously it doesn't work out for everybody. People says that everybody in the main roster and from NXT that makes the main roster unsuccessful. Like, pretty much everybody that's champion right now has been on NXT.
Because they went in there and they did their part without complaining.
Yeah, like Roman Reigns was in NXT. Nobody complained. Seth Rollins was in NXT.
And then not everybody could be champion.
Charlotte.
Well, Charlotte because of Flair.
I know, but Stephanie was NXT. I mean, like,
but yeah,
there's people saying like, oh, if you go to NXT in the main roster, you're automatically going to fail. But pretty much everybody has been like.
They fail because they don't try.
Exactly.
Samoa Joe, he had some hiccups here and there.
He got injured multiple times.
Yeah, but he did, accomplish a good amount. I'm pretty sure there was more that he wanted to accomplish, but he got to face Roman Reigns. He was in the main event multiple times. He got to face Brock Lesnar, main event to SummerSlam. So,
would you consider him a failure or
no.
a success?
I'd give him a passing grade.
Yeah, like a C+.
Yeah,
you were there,
C, yeah,
B+.
B, no more than that. Because he did face. I mean, he wrestled at WrestleMania only once out of the 3 years he was in the main roster.
Yeah, and one he commentated.
Yeah, and then he was supposed to be at WrestleMania 36, but he got injured. I mean, during that time it was the pandemic, so it doesn't really matter. But still, WrestleMania is WrestleMania.
Yeah.
He faced Rey Mysterio at WrestleMania. Not a lot of people can say that.
I love the storyline with AJ Styles.
Oh yeah, he got to face
Wendy.
He got to face AJ Styles at SummerSlam. So
this happened in what 4 companies? Probably.
Yeah, he faced them.
In Japan, they faced in Ring of Honor, they faced in Impact,
TNA.
They faced in WWE, so that's like.
And for the WWE Championship,
that's
the
like,
first 2 TNA originals. So that was they faced each other. SummerSlam, Hell in a Cell. Hell in a Cell was the best one. Super Showdown, and then Crown
Yeah,
Jewels.
so they were going.
Yeah, for the WWE Championship. So yeah, I would say Samoa Joe accomplished nothing compared to AJ Styles,
Yeah.
but and then you had
Gunther, he's gonna go up there. He's probably gonna
he's
take
getting
Roman.
up there. He's listening, so he's just doing his role.
Yeah,
Pete Dunne, the same thing. He's the Butcher, but
the Butch. Yeah.
I feel
But I
like
think for him, they might just keep him as Butch, but he's gonna be like
he
done like the same character.
he's gonna be Pete Dunne later on down the road.
Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
but it's probably is the Butch.
he is Butch.
Yeah, he's
Because
gonna have his
still-
own gimmick back.
Because I think, well, speaking of like changing gimmicks, Vince McMahon is like he might be out like now for sure.
Shoot,
Like,
I
he's
highly
out.
doubt that, man. What are you talking about? Vince McMahon, it's his company.
Yeah, but I mean, the guy, the original owner of the NFL is no longer around. You know, the original owner of the NBA is no longer around. Like,
True.
eventually, the owners change. You know.
That's if he wants to give it up.
I mean, he still has. I mean, right now they say there's more allegations, but obviously until they're proven.
Vince McMahon's not going anywhere. He's not going anywhere.
But I think he'll still have ownership of the company, but not have any say in the actual storylines. So if Triple H, like, they let Triple H be Triple H, he'll probably elevate all these guys that are like, you know, they'll elevate Nakamura again, they'll elevate, you know, like all these guys are like, oh, they're not used properly. Ciampa, he might even be,
Tommaso Ciampa, yeah.
imagine him being like IC champion, like a good run with that. Or I mean, US champion on Raw.
Speaking, you know what? Since you brought that up, give me 5 top baby faces that you would push. It could either be more it could be either or, like towards the main event picture, like where it's like a Dolph Ziggler and a Miz kind of thing, where it's like maybe I'll give you a title run, or maybe this person could be more like, you want to be world champion, you got to go through this guy first,
Yeah.
and then once you have great matches with him or beat him, whatever, I'm gonna put you in the main event picture. And basically that guy's, if he's impressed with your work, I'll, you know, like a Triple H kind of thing.
Yeah.
So what are your top 5 baby faces that you would push to elevate to main event pictures, and even who would be your world champion? And also give me 5 heels that you will push.
So faces, I'll do Riddle.
Okay.
I'll do Nakamura.
Okay.
I'll do Orton.
Orton again? Somebody
I
new.
want him to break the. I want him to match. I want him to
Okay.
match John Cena's streak.
Okay, that's fair. I'll give you that.
And then I'm trying to see who else is a babyface.
Well, you could turn a heel into a baby face if you want. Who will you push as your top 5?
Lashley
That's 4. So you got
and Kevin
Nakamura.
Owens.
Okay.
So yeah, I have Kevin Owens, Lashley, Randy Orton, Nakamura, and Riddle.
So all these 5 guys, you will push them for world titles.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I would actually want Nakamura
Who-
to be champion at least once, and Riddle.
Who would be your longest reign, and who would have the shortest reign? That's what she said.
I want to have Orton be the shortest reign because, like I say, he's been champion so many times.
Okay.
I just want him to have that accolade.
So he's a 14 or 14, right?
14.
So if you give him another title shot and he
beat
wins,
Triple H's.
so
passed Triple H.
he's 50. Yeah, because of when he beat Drew McIntyre.
Yeah, so I'll do Triple H the shortest.
Triple H.
No,
Orton.
Orton.
What? How long of a reign will you give him?
I'll give him at least like 2 months.
So 60 days,
60
about.
days. Then I'll give Lashley, because he's been champion multiple times already.
How many?
He's won 2.
He's a 2-time WWE
2-time.
champion.
Yep.
No, he's not.
Yeah, 2-time.
How?
He beat.
Oh, Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
I totally forgot about
Yeah,
that.
so I'll do
He
him.
he beat Drew. No, Miz.
Yeah, man.
He had that long reign, and then he lost to Big E, and then he won it back.
Yeah.
He beat Brock Lesnar. I forgot about that match.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
But
So-
I'll do Lashley as 4th.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll do that I'll do 60 days in a week.
What? 60?
Yeah.
Oh, so
60 days in a week, so it'll be like 67 days.
2 months in a week.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then I'll do Kevin Owens. For him, I'll do like 4 months, 4 to 5 months. Because it depends what season it'll start. Like obviously if I started from like WrestleMania on,
Right.
I would want like then Nakamura. I would just want him to win it once. So probably for him, I'll be like 30 days.
So he'll have the shortest reign then.
Yeah. Oh no, not 30 days. I'll have him longer because he's a great wrestler.
Yeah, because I feel like if it's,
but I would need a manager. I want him.
I mean, if
He
Boots,
talks, but
if Boots was still around,
Yeah.
but yeah, because if you're gonna give Nakamura like a one time
him
one time reign, I feel like
6 months.
I feel like over 100 days is it's a good amount.
Because he could, if my gimmick for him would be like a killer, like, because remember he's always like a beast in the ring.
Right.
So for him, I'll make him a killer, like make him like 100 days would be. How much is 100 days?
That's
3 months.
3 months and a week, isn't it?
I'll
No,
give him like 6
three.
months.
No, it's
I'll
three.
give him
It's
6.
3 months and 10 days.
Okay. No, I give him 6 months.
Okay, that's good.
6 month reign. So obviously that's when you know, like, okay, is he like? Because people say, oh, he deserves a title, right? Well, if he has a 6 month reign, you're like, okay, this reign was like mediocre. Like, okay,
Yeah.
I can see why he was never champion. But if you give him a 6 month reign, he's like killing it. Like, he's a monster. Like, everybody, like, his song hits and everybody like drops, you know.
Right.
And then in Japan, when Dirty goes back to Japan, because they probably like stopped going to Japan recently, because obviously they're shut down. But go to Japan and this is their champion.
Yeah.
And then Riddle for sure. Like that's.
So if I were you, I would have Nakamura champion. Because you know how they do the overseas tours.
Yeah.
So whenever they're doing the overseas tours, I would have him champion before then.
Yeah.
To make sure we sell tickets by the time
Yeah.
we get overseas.
So yeah, it depends on like what, like for sure, like if you want the Japanese market again,
Right.
it kind of faltered. You want it back. You want a Japanese champion, right? Because he won Royal Rumble, which is crazy. And he lost. So I'm like, this is like his redemption story.
Yeah.
And if he wants to, like, obviously his contract whenever it's up, I'll be like, you know what? We'll give you one title reign. We'll make it worth it. If it works out, stick with us. If it doesn't work out, you can go to whatever company you want. You can go to Japan if you want.
Damn, you release him after he wins?
No, I mean, I'm saying, like, if his contract is... You know what I mean? I don't know how long his contract is, but I'll give him a reason to stay. Like, oh, you know what? We'll give you another reign. And we'll even give him, like, top competitors. Not, you know, like...
What about Riddle?
Riddle, I'll give him, like... that'd be kind of cool. I'll give him, like, 7 months. This is over, like, a 2-3 year period, then. This is, like, all, like, 2 years.
Yeah. For me, well, first, I want to ask you this. Who will you lead into WrestleMania
Ooh, WrestleMania?
as champion? Or who will you
Out of
lead?
these 5?
Yeah.
WrestleMania?
Yep.
Shit, what city are we going in?
Uh,
What city or what?
let's say I'll do Orlando, the one wherever WrestleMania 33 was at.
I would do... I don't know. I'd do Riddle.
Riddle,
Yeah.
main event in WrestleMania as WWE champion.
Yeah. But I
Okay.
see who he has to face, though.
Who will you have him? Who will you book him then?
I would book against Orton.
Oh, okay.
It's like friends turn enemies, and this is like the end all be all. And if Orton loses, he can't go for another title. So pretty much my thing was that Riddle beat Orton, like they're friends, and then Riddle like, okay, we'll face a match, but whatever happens, we're still friends. You know, and then Orton was a babyface at the time, obviously, because you know he's like, this is my reign, and then Riddle beats him at like I forgot what it'll be like at Survivor Series or whatever's in December at the time, right? If they skip it, then or whatever's in February, and then Orton loses. Obviously, he's not happy about it. He's like, oh, this guy's supposed to be my friend. He's not supposed to beat me for my title. He turns heel, so he's a face at this time when I make him on my list.
Right.
But then he becomes a heel. And then him and Riddle are like, he turns on Riddle. And he's like, oh, I'm excited for you, but you beat me. But like, I never needed you because I was champion without you. But you were lucky you beat me at WrestleMania. You're lucky you beat me at whatever.
Right.
At Royal Rumble.
So having the feud leading up to WrestleMania.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It should be like, then RK Bro. You see Randy Orton burn the RK Bro shirt. Like, just make it personal, like really personal. Like, oh, I introduced you to my wife and kids. We were always on the road together. Like, it's like that bitter storyline.
Yeah.
And then Riddle's like at WrestleMania, that's when he's like that's when they face each other. He's like,
bro,
making like a last man standing match or something crazy. Or first blood, like I'm spilling the blood of my brother. My tag team brother.
Speaking of blood, Raw is not gonna be PG. It's gonna be TV at 14.
So like maybe an F word here and there.
Yeah.
But anyways, but yeah, I'll do.
That's
I'll be my storyline. What about yours? What will be your top 5 guys?
Kevin Owens for sure. Big E. I know he's out, but Big E, I would never had him drop the WWE title.
Oh, I heard he might not come back at all.
I kind of figured once I found out about the injury.
Yeah.
Let's see. I will push Edge.
Ooh.
I will
turn it into a face.
Yeah. I will push Finn Balor.
But he's a heel, right? So you turn him face.
I would turn him face. But I'll have him turn face, and then once he's champion, maybe. Well, hold on, I'll give you my list and I'll explain him. So what is that for?
Yeah, Owens, Big E, Edge, and Balor.
I'm trying to see who else can I push, because Edge is he's the OG.
What about Mysterio? Like one last push. There's Riddle. There's. Mahal.
I mean, ooh.
Jinder Mahal, like one last.
You know what? Jinder Mahal. Yeah. I'm gonna push Jinder Mahal as the top babyface because I'll do the same thing what I said for you for Shinsuke Nakamura.
Yeah.
Because I was gonna say Shinsuke, but I was like, you already mentioned Kevin Owens and Shinsuke, and I was like, I wasn't gonna name two people.
We didn't mention Cody Rhodes. I actually thought about that.
Well, Cody Rhodes is obvious gonna be. He's gonna be pushed.
Yeah. So okay,
it's like saying, oh, what about John Cena?
Yeah.
You know, you only pick Randy Orton because you want him to break the record.
Yeah.
Or try to get closer
like
to
legacy,
it. Yeah.
Break his legacy one more time.
So it's like saying Brock Lesnar or Roman Reigns. It's pushing them because it's like that's pretty obvious. But Big E, I would never had him drop the belt. To Brock Lesnar.
Yeah,
I would have had him retain the title, and push him to be that megastar. I would have had the roles reversed. I would have had Roman Reigns drop the Universal Champion. To Seth Rollins because I guess he was champion, right? Yeah. Or no, that's who he was facing. Either have him drop the belt to Seth Rollins, or have him drop the belt to Brock Lesnar at day one. And then I would have had Roman Reigns. If he would have dropped the belt to Brock Lesnar, I would have had him come back at Royal Rumble entry number 30, winning the Rumble, facing Big E. Roman Reigns versus Big E at WrestleMania is what I would have pushed. Had Big E drop the belt to Roman that night. Yeah. And then that way, what was it? WrestleMania Backlash, Big E gets a rematch. And then Hell in a Cell, he gets a rematch. So at least that way, now after that, it's like he main event to WrestleMania. I would have had him main event WrestleMania Backlash.
Co-main event in Hell in a Cell.
Probably opening match for Hell in a Cell.
Yeah.
Just because he main evented, because I would have preferred Cody and Seth Rollins at Hell in a Cell main eventing, especially after what we witnessed live. So it's like, I'm going to keep it like that.
That was pretty fire, that.
Yeah.
The Hell in a Cell match was fire.
It was.
So Mahal, you would push him because of the Indian market?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's face it. I mean, it's a good thing.
Yeah.
So
there's a lot of people there.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Even if you get like a percent of like Indian
that's what helped. That's what helped Impact Wrestling. Ooh, I don't remember 2017. Yeah. That's what helped Impact Wrestling because of India.
Yeah, imagine even if you get a 1% of the fans in India, that's still like like
100
million people?
Possibly.
That's more like half the country. Wait, yeah, let's do that math.
Probably 100,000.
No, that's
maybe 1 million. I don't know. He's really checking tonight. But anyways, I'm gonna continue talking. But yeah, I will push Jinder Mahal.
10 million people.
10 million.
That's
people.
still pretty good. That's like.
But I highly doubt that's how much people they got.
But you know what I mean, though. Like,
but yeah,
even if like WWE got like 10 million fans and extra new fans in India, that's pretty good.
But Jinder Mahal will push him to be a top baby face. Yeah. Who else did I name?
You said Owens, Big E, Edge, Balor, and Mahal.
So yeah, with Edge is a tricky one. So with Judgment Day, I would have had Edge. I'm not gonna say have him take the title. I'm not gonna say when I would have it. I'm just pitching you the idea of what I would do.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying like right here, right now, I'm gonna have Edge take the title from Roman Reigns. I'm just saying that I'm just pitching an idea of how I would have him win the title. I will have him. So this is where Finn Balor gets in the picture.
Yeah.
I would have him.
Both faces in your list.
No. Oh yeah, that's right.
You don't have to make them faces. My list was all faces, but
What was the issue? Oh, okay. I remember. So I will have Finn Balor be a babyface. He'll be WWE champion. And then he turns heel, joins Judgment Day, and Edge is his leader. But Finn Balor, he rolls with it because whatever the last match, Edge helped him. And so that's why he like, okay, I kind of owe you kind of thing. So I'm going to join you and follow your direction because of what you did for me. But then eventually Finn Balor's like, I'm WWE champion still. And you haven't done anything. And then have the roles reversed where it's like the reason why I joined your group is because you helped me retain my title. So I turned heel because of you. Towards, let's say, 8 months leading to Royal Rumble, Edge almost cost Finn Balor the title, and the next night on Raw, Finn Balor and Damian Priest, Rhea Ripley take Edge out. And then Edge comes back for the Royal Rumble, and then wins the Royal Rumble match, or doesn't, whatever. He goes on and faces Finn Balor at WrestleMania. And then that's where I'll have Edge winning the WWE title and have a long reign. So whatever, I guess, storyline, I'll probably have Edge. So from the moment Finn Balor wins the title as a babyface, I'll probably have him as a babyface for 2 months before I have him turn heel. So probably 3 pay-per-views.
So would you have Finn Balor champion at Clash of the Castle?
So that's why I wouldn't want to, because it's difficult.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't. I'm not saying that's how I would pitch the idea. I'm not saying for this year, but let's just say for next year, right? I will have Finn Balor win the WWE Championship and Money in the Bank. So I would say if I Clash of the Champions, I will have him turn heel the night after. Like, I'll have Edge helping Finn Balor. And then the next night on Raw, he joins with Edge. So from that point till whatever pay-per-view is on December, I will have Edge and Finn Balor working together. And then the next night on Raw, or the pay-per-view, whatever, in December, Edge almost cost Finn Balor the title accidentally. And then they take him out the next night on Raw. And then Edge comes back for the Royal Rumble, either wins it or gets close, and then he goes after Finn Balor at WrestleMania for the WWE Championship. And then Edge takes the title, and then they have a feud that goes on for the next couple months. And I'll have Edge champion all the way till November.
Yeah, well, that's a long reign.
Yeah, November. Have him drop it at Survivor Series. So, but I will have him drop the title to Kevin Owens.
Ooh.
Yeah. Babyface versus babyface. And then I'll have Kevin Owens walk in WWE champion at WrestleMania. I don't care who he faces, but I'll have it. Like, the guy main event at WrestleMania was Stone Cold Steve Austin. He needs to walk in as WWE champion.
Yeah.
So I'll give him that. And, yeah, that's how I'll probably book. But my heels, I'll probably do... I wouldn't mind pushing Kevin Owens as a heel too, but I would rather have him as a babyface leading to WrestleMania. After WrestleMania, that's where I'll probably lead him as a top heel as champion, because I feel Kevin Owens has that childhood dream as a kid, like something similar to John Cena, and let's face it. Kevin Owens is no John Cena on looks wise. So I feel like people can look up to that more.
He's more like a everyday guy.
Exactly. So leading him to WrestleMania as a babyface with that kind of background, it relate more to people and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Who you have? Who you push as a top heel?
Top heel Theory.
Lame.
What? He's young, so he has that like arrogance.
He's
factor.
immature.
Exactly. That's what people are gonna hate about.
Will you
him.
will you push him as
it's
a?
weird how
Will
people-
you wouldn't have him have a manager?
Oh yeah.
Who?
A woman manager.
Lame as hell.
Come on.
You know who I'll have? You
Wait, I
know
don't
you
get
know
how-
who Theory needs as a manager? Jim Cornette.
Ooh.
Jim Cornette.
I love Jim Cornette though. He's fine.
I'm telling you.
No, but the thing is, or Disco Inferno.
No, come on, dude.
Come on.
Be serious,
No,
man.
Disco Inferno is like very vocal, so he could be like on it.
No.
No. But the thing is, like,
You're gonna say Disco Inferno
so wait.
instead of Jim Cornette?
No,
At least
Jim Cornette's
Austin
shit.
Theory. Austin Aries. Sorry.
Aries.
Austin Aries.
I say Theory because people are okay. First, people say WWE, we're only pushing part timers, right?
Right.
Okay, and then Theory has the factor of being hated by everybody, so he's like the perfect heel. Like
He's basically the Miz.
yeah, but he has more. He's had success younger. Like he's been wrestling probably since he was like 16.
Yeah, because he's better looking than the Miz now.
But, no, but I mean like even if you saw his matches in Progress or Evolve. No,
I'm not
Evolve-
saying he's a bad worker
Oh,
and
no.
all that. I'm just
I'm
saying
saying,
he's
like-
still young and he's still
Exactly, that's what you want. You want guys that are gonna be around for a long time, and he's so young that people are like, "Oh, I hate this guy so much."
true.
And he's like, he's good in the ring. He's arrogant.
He's like-
boastful.
yeah.
He's prideful.
I still think he needs a manager though.
Yeah, he needs a manager. But I'm saying like people get complained that WWE doesn't not build any stars. Obviously, he has success outside of WWE, but
Right.
nothing like super like he was not in WCW. He was not.
So
in
the guy's kind of like Tyler Breeze with the same similar gimmick
Yeah.
with the cell phone thing. He reminds me of a young Randy Orton.
yeah.
Evolution Randy Orton.
Evolution running with yeah.
And then he reminds me of the Miz.
Yeah.
I
So he
think
has,
the
like-
Miz should be his manager, but since the Miz is still active, I feel Jim Cornette, Austin Aries, Paul Heyman is like,
Paul Heyman would be. Paul Heyman guy. What about like?
not really.
What about who was that one manager? MVP.
Okay, yeah, I can
MVP's
see.
kind of like that swagger about
Right.
him. You could bring that like coolness factor to Theory. Theory seems like he seems like more of a like
Right.
a jock,
I feel
jockey,
like
like a jockey nerd.
MVP would be a good one.
He'll make him more like tough. Like, come on, stop being like the smiley and some selfies.
Austin
Like,
Theory,
don't
yeah,
go nowhere.
actually it makes sense now because Aries Theory is the kind of person who likes to party and stuff like that, and who wants to be surrounded by women.
Yeah, and MVP would be
So
like
he'd be
Randy Orton.
perfect,
He'd be
yeah.
Randy Orton, like, come on,
Right.
let's go to the club. Let's get some limos.
And then eventually, where it's like, but I wouldn't push him as a world title.
No.
It'll be mid card and maybe even tag team, to the point where Paul Heyman is like, bro, this guy's been managing you for 3 years. Let's just say,
yeah.
3 years, and all you have won is tag team, and U.S. title, IC title. When is he gonna help you win a world title?
Yeah,
Bobby Lashley won a world title within a year, but he's been managing you for 3 years and you haven't won a world title. Come with me and I'll help you. And if I can't help you win the WWE title within a year, you can fire me and then have him win the title that way.
yeah,
You know, that's how I will push Theory.
yeah. But Theory, yeah, I'm thinking like, because everybody else are like, oh wow, they're gonna use all the part timers. Like, well, this guy's not gonna be. This guy's young. He's not gonna be a part timer. He probably
Just say he's sexy.
no, man.
Come on, man. Just say it.
No, I'm saying
You
like,
find him attractive.
nope.
Stop lying to yourself.
nope.
Damn, bro, put that down, man. Jesus.
No. But because you want that, like, you want that young guy, right? The young guy taking over the business. You know, like,
But not that young.
well, come on, Randy Orton was the same age, or
I mean, if you're
Randy Orton's been around for like 20.
Yeah,
years.
he was only champion for 28 days because Triple
but
H
they-
said he wasn't ready.
Exactly. So that's gonna be you could have a similar storyline. You could have, I don't know who Roman Reigns saying he's not ready. You're not ready for this belt.
I mean,
you know,
here's but here's the thing though. That's what sucks about it. I would book it how they did it with Randy Orton when he first won the title.
Yeah.
But the thing is, the next pay-per-view is Clash of the Castle.
Yeah.
Clash of the Castle
Clash
or
at
at
the
the Castle. I want Drew McIntyre to face Roman Reigns or Brock Lesnar.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't want Theory to win it.
Exactly.
I wanted to win it like at like Extreme Rules or something like a random pay per view.
So unless
Not like a
unless
big-
Theory wins one of the titles, is it gonna be for both titles? How is that gonna work out?
No, that's just for one.
So he's gonna win both titles then.
No, just for like the WWE Championship. So he's gonna elevate because I think the Universal title already has like Roman Reigns as like he elevated it.
I think I think it's one title now because
No, it's
if
still,
Riddle, because when he faced Riddle, it was for both. It wasn't like, oh, it's just the Universal title or it's just the WWE title. It was the Undisputed title.
yeah. But even
And
though
most
the title
likely-
eventually broke off again. They actually separated them again.
When?
Remember, it was like the WWE Championship and the World Heavyweight Championship. They unified into the Undisputed Championship. Was it like that?
What year are you talking about?
I think I'm talking about the wrong year then.
Well, they never did that.
No, they
Because,
combined
yeah,
them.
they combined both titles. And then
Oh,
eventually,
John Cena versus Orton, they combined them.
yeah,
Yeah. It became the world title. And
it became the WWE World Heavyweight title.
Yeah.
And then eventually it just went on to become WWE Championship. Or no, I think it was WWE World Championship. How long was it WWE World Heavyweight Champ? I think it was all the way through
A year.
from the day they unified the title all the way till the brand split, right?
Yeah.
Because Brock Lesnar was WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Seth Rollins was Triple H, Roman Reigns. So once Dean Ambrose won the title, I think it was considered the WWE World Championship.
Okay.
And then AJ Styles won it. And I think it was still WWE World Championship all the way till like December, and I think it just went to become WWE
They
Champion.
just took off the thing.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
So now a lot of changing, man.
Yeah.
What
Yeah,
a-
so it's really fun, like to like, so what ifs, and like who, because you never know if Roman Reigns decides to like not wrestle anymore. Like you have to replace him with somebody. You know? Can't
I
just
mean,
like,
Cody Rhodes, but he's out, and apparently they said the rumor is that he's gonna come back in November, but most likely,
October.
no, they said for Royal Rumble.
Oh wow. That
Yeah.
Wow.
He said he may be fully recovered by November, but then at that point, it's like you might as well just come back in for the Royal Rumble. Be better off that way, yeah. So SummerSlam, July 30th. At this moment, the current card is Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar, last man standing match for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship. Pat McAfee versus Happy Corbin. Bobby Lashley versus Theory for the United States Championship. The Usos versus the Street Profit for the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championship with Jeff Jarrett as the special guest referee.
Wow. Okay.
Liv Morgan versus Ronda Rousey for the WWE SmackDown Women's Champion. Belair is clearly going to be on the card. Apparently, the IC title is going to be on the card, but
That's the first time in like a year and a half.
really?
Yeah, it hasn't been on a pay per view in like a year, bro.
Damn.
I know.
Most likely, Drew McIntyre is going to be on the card.
It'd be interesting. See, that's what I see. That's how you feel at stadium. Like, actually, I think the Nashville or what is it called? I don't know the name of the stadium. They're gonna Nissan Stadium. They're gonna fill that one. Lesnar, Reigns, Usos, Street Profits, Lashley,
Ronda
Morgan,
Rousey.
Rousey, Belair.
As much as I hate Ronda Rousey, it's like, don't get me wrong, she does sell tickets.
Yeah, that's 8 people right there. Like, I'll be like, okay, let's go.
Yeah. I was going to go, but it's too
Yeah.
far.
Yes, too bad.
I'm not going to drive that far just to pay $25 on a ticket.
Yeah.
Now, if I got better seats, I probably would have considered it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyways, what match would you want to see SummerSlam?
My favorite one. I'll if Gunther faces Nakamura at SummerSlam, that'll be fire. Because they're both really strong style. Like, have you seen him wrestle? Like in any even Gunther or Walter in NXT.
I seen him in
Like,
yeah.
imagine going back and forth with the chops and the kicks with each other.
Yeah.
Just them having a battle. Like that would be my thing. Like,
The only
just
thing is I feel like that one's gonna if that match because they
be
said
short.
No, I feel like it's gonna be a pre-show, a kickoff show.
I would be like, dude, this is the best match of the night.
Yeah. I feel like that's what's gonna happen.
No, I think they're pushing Gunther enough now that he will not be on the pre-show. It will most likely be like McAfee versus Corbin. No, that's not gonna be a pre-show. McAfee would be like,
No, that's not gonna be a kickoff show. What are you talking about?
That's
gonna be semi-main event.
I don't know. So they probably have like some random feud versus each other. You know, like it'll be like.
It'd probably just be a random match, but
random match. But at least it might be like second in the card, second or third.
if it happens,
Yeah, but that'd be awesome. Imagine hearing those chops in the stadium. You hear the whop.
wapa,
You hear the echo of that slap on Nakamura. You hear the kick.
and you're gonna hear ah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
No, I definitely. If Gunther versus Nakamura happens at SummerSlam, I'll be excited. I'll be like, my money's worth it. Whatever, you know, whatever, worth my money or worth my watch. You know.
I don't know. I mean, because I did wanted to see Edge versus Finn Balor. I also wanted to see AJ Styles versus Finn Balor. AJ Styles versus Seth Rollins at SummerSlam. But I feel like none of that's going to happen.
No.
I mean, there is a chance it could be Edge versus Finn Balor at SummerSlam. But who knows at this time?
Yeah, that's true.
So.
Yeah, at this point, who knows?
Because to be honest, I really thought it was going to be Kevin Owens versus Edge. And Finn Balor because he joined the group. Versus AJ Styles, because it's gonna be like the whole you were just with me, now you're joining with them. What's going on? Blah blah blah.
Yeah, they never followed up with that, did they?
They didn't. It was never like why.
Like, hey, we're buddies, but what happened? Now
and then I thought so because apparently I heard there was rumors that Seth Rollins was gonna win the briefcase.
Yeah.
And that he was
Lynch too, right? They're both gonna win the briefcase. They were both supposed to win it, but
who was the other person?
Becky Lynch was supposed to win it.
Oh yeah, that was rumors too.
But
it was.
Rousey said she wanted Morgan to take the belt because she's like,
right.
I don't want.
Apparently, that's the rumor.
Yeah.
But I heard when Seth Rollins was gonna win the briefcase, and he was gonna have a feud with AJ Styles, but that never happened. So Seth Rollins ended up he's having a feud with Riddle.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. Yeah, now think about it. Like the Balor AJ Styles thing, never. I would have been like,
yeah, it never.
AJ's like, what happened? We were friends last week.
Yeah.
But now you're like all of a sudden a heel. And then they're all of a sudden they're randomly, I don't know who they're facing now. Then Ripley,
the Mysterios.
Mysterio. Like how that?
Yeah.
How do you go from like AJ Styles like, hey, we're buddies, we're fending off Judgment Day. Now we're like, you're not even like in the same like boat. Like.
Yeah, it's just weird how everything turned out. And now Edge is coming out with a new gimmick apparently. So it's like a lot of stuff is. Yeah, it is Edge.
That is Edge.
Yeah. Really, you don't know it? It's the same alley that he used in his old video. It's the same alley, and you see the gold medal. Jeff Hart, Kurt Angle's gold medal, at Cena's shirts. It's everybody that he faced in the past.
Wow.
So,
okay,
it is Edge.
It is okay.
You think you know me? Do. But, man, AEW. Jon Moxley is the champion. You think he's gonna face CM Punk at All Out? Or you think that's too soon for CM Punk to come back?
Too soon for CM Punk. I know it's in Chicago. Obviously, every paper is in Las Vegas, Chicago. Yeah, with like All Out, it's gonna be Chicago, but I don't think he's ready. That's why he probably got injured in the first place because he was like.
He's doing stuff that he thinks he could still do.
Yeah, that's
he won't.
That's the thing about AEW. I like the wrestlers, but they have too much creative freedom, where they like, you know what, I could do this move, and then when they do it, they get injured.
Right.
There's a reason why, like, I think even with Daniel Bryan, Bryan Danielson, right?
How did he get hurt?
I
know it was a head.
Headbutt. He got a concussion. He also got like his foot injured.
Okay.
Dirty B knew he had concussion issues, and obviously he was retired because of that.
Right.
So when he came back, Dirty B protected him by not allowing him to do those moves. So once he's like, oh, they're limiting me, because they're limiting me on what I could do. Obviously,
and there's a reason for it.
Yeah, he's older now, and he has concussion issues. He went to AEW thinking like, oh, I have creative freedom, I could do all this stuff, and he got injured under a year being, even like under 6 months of being there.
Yeah. So
it's like these wrestlers,
and that's
they should know the limitations by age,
right?
And they should know the limitations like they were protecting Dirty B. Dirty did that for a reason. Now they're in AEW like Bryan Danielson, and he got injured right away. if he didn't do all these crazy moves, like if he wrestled like his style in WWE, he probably would have been wrestling right now. He probably wouldn't have that blood and guts match.
But what he wanted to do was the reason why he did all that and faced these young talents is because he would rather. He said it himself in WWE. He was having great He was having good matches. He wanted great matches, and he said it himself where it's like, I could play it safe for the next 10 years and have good matches, or I could go to AEW and have great matches, but my career is only going to last maybe less than 3 years.
And over here, we're already like...
He's already out.
He's after gone for a while. He's probably been out for a year.
Yeah, because concussions could be 6 months to a year.
And him having all those concussions over the years,
yeah,
he might...
So it's like to me, it's like, I can't... He had one great match with Kenny Omega, right? The time limit. But the thing is, I barely remember it.
Yeah.
He had another good match with Jon Moxley. But again, I could barely remember it.
Yeah. He's at Blackpool Comic Club, and it's like, okay.
And now it's like, now you're out. So it's like, you know, what I'm pretty sure that the hardcore true AEW fans could say, I remember every match of Daniel Bryan or Bryan Danielson. But for me, it's just like, I can't really remember much. So to me, it wasn't that great because I can't remember it.
So guys like CM Punk, Omega, and Daniel Bryan, their style is too reckless in AEW. Right. That's why they're all out for long-term injuries.
And then my favorite match of the year for AEW is Will Ospreay versus Orange Cassidy. Wow. Like, of all matches that Daniel Bryan had, CM Punk, Jon Moxley, Chris Jericho, my favorite match of AEW is Orange Cassidy versus Will Ospreay. And then Jon Moxley versus Will Ospreay on the New Japan. But when it comes to Daniel Bryanson, is it Daniel Bryanson?
Daniel Bryanson, yeah.
Bryan Danielson.
Bryan Danielson, yeah.
That was a total botch.
No,
it's because we're saying, Daniel Bryan's.
We've been calling him Daniel Bryan for like 6-7 years.
Even when he was Daniel Bryan, I didn't even like Daniel Bryan. I like Bryan Danielson or Bryan Daniel. Yeah. But then they flipped it, and now it's like, oh my gosh. Yeah. Anyways, I'm just gonna say Daniel, or Brian, whatever. Yeah. But yeah, it's just like, he did all that for what? And it's like, which match, now look what happened. Because it's like, I don't know. I'm trying to say a lot of words because part of me is like, are you happy what you accomplished on? Was it worth it? What's the last match that you got hurt worth it? Or are you going to be like, oh, I want one more match because I can't retire with that match?
Yeah.
So it's like, I'm pretty sure him facing Roman Reigns, I'm just comparing it to how he left things. Because when he left WWE the first time, he was on top.
Yeah. And
then the second time, he was on top, but he was in the mid-card picture, but he won the IC title.
He wasn't in the main event, no?
No, WrestleMania 31.
Oh.
So when he first got hurt, he was out. And then he came back for WrestleMania 31, and then he got injured again. Yeah. That time he was gone completely. So, because he was supposed to face Wade Barrett at Extreme Rules for the IC title.
Okay.
But I don't know. To me, it's just like Daniel Bryan needs to calm down, man.
Yeah, look, now, because now he's older. He's a father.
He's been older.
Yeah, he's older, but he's a father. He's a husband. Like, at some point, like, that's reckless style.
Right. At least save it for the pay-per-views.
Yeah, save it. Don't save it for, like, Rampage. Come on.
And
not even under him. Not even have like 5. Not even.
But
1 million once.
I mean, to be fair, it was like, look at the matches that he had. It makes sense why he would do all that.
Yeah, you want to build the record, but you want to still like.
Yeah, because it's like
fight like Daniel Garcia on Rampage.
Yeah, because it's like
heads in.
Right. Like, how long is his contract? A year or 3 years?
I think it's 3 years.
So it's like you gotta extend those 3 years. You can't wrestle like crazy like you did, every night.
And then he said he wanted to go in AEW, go to wrestle in Japan. I heard a story that Tony Khan didn't not let him go to Japan. They're more reckless out there.
Yeah.
He'll bash his head.
My thing is, why would he sign a contract then with AEW? Why would he just do
New Japan?
I wouldn't say New Japan. Why don't you just go to New Japan and be like, hey, I want to work five shows for you.
Yeah.
And then AEW do the same thing. I just want to do a couple matches.
And then go to Indies or maybe do like one.
Just take a break or go back to WWE. Like I did everything I wanted to do.
Yeah.
Thanks for letting me do it, and I want to come back.
Sign a contract.
Yeah, I don't think he should never have signed with AEW. He should have just done a couple matches for them, and then same thing with New Japan, and then that's it. And then he wanted to go to Mexico.
MML.
Yeah.
But they don't work. They don't work with the AEW. They work with New Japan.
But that's why he should never sign a contract.
Yeah.
He should have just done shows for them.
Yeah, like, you know what? I'm gonna wrestle CMML, like 2 matches against.
When did he say? Oh, and by the time he was out.
Because if you sign with AEW, you can't work with CMML. If he wants to work CMML, not AAA.
Because they work
rivals.
with.
They're like they hate each other. They won't never work with each other. So
and then FTR is holding both of their titles. It's holding
CMML, not CMML.
No, he's holding AAA and New Japan. But New Japan are AAA has beef with CMLL.
Because it's like they're.
But they don't have beef with New Japan. New Japan just doesn't work with AAA because of CMLL.
And then CMLL doesn't work with AEW because AEW works with AAA.
Right.
And a lot of the wrestlers in AEW, like Mexican wrestlers, work for AAA already.
Yeah. So
it's kind of
okay, but there's no beef. It's just because of CML.
Yeah, because they're like, no, we don't want to. If you partner with it, we're not gonna partner with you. Kind of.
Right.
Yeah, us or them. Kind of.
So that's why they're okay of holding both titles.
Yeah, but FTR can't defend the New Japan tag team titles and CMLL. Because they work for AEW and they hold the AAA title.
Right.
So I think FTR's reign's gonna, because eventually CMLL's gonna be like, hey, we want the New Japan tag team titles in CMLL.
Right.
But we're not gonna allow AAA champions on our show or any show associated with us. You know.
Do you think FTR is overrated right now?
Yeah.
I don't get the hype. I really don't.
They're both like good wrestlers. They're wrestlers, but they're not like. What's the appeal? Like,
I really don't. Yeah.
Like, what's their gimmick? Like, their gimmick is like, we're tough guys.
I mean, I don't see the whole hype of them. I mean, do I hate them? No. I did enjoy their match in Forbidden Door, but everybody's like, "Oh my god, that was a great match of the night." I was like, "No, it wasn't." It was Eventually it became. I mean, it was a good match. I enjoyed it, but I wouldn't say it was match of the night.
Yeah.
Will Ospreay and Orange Cassidy was match of the night, and then the Fatal 4-Way would have been a top contender for match of the year for me, but the ending kind of ruined it. Jon Moxley versus Hiroshi Tanahashi. Yeah. That match was good, but it was very slow paced. But I mean, I still enjoy that match. It's definitely a top contender in my favorite match of the year.
So you think them holding the tag titles in 3 companies? 4?
AAA, New Japan,
Ring of Honor.
Ring of Honor.
I just Ring of
Honor. Yeah, I just don't.
You think the Ring of Honor tag team title is kind of like it's like a accessory, it's not even an actual championship.
No, it is. I would consider it, yeah.
But you know what I mean, like.
But the thing is, I would have pushed the Briscoes. I would have pushed the Young Bucks.
The Briscoes are in Impact.
No, they're not. No, they're not signed with. No, they're not signed.
They could just do whatever.
Yeah, they just went over there and won their tag team titles and then dropped them.
If FTR really wants to be like the best tag team, they have to win the AEW tag team titles. Because that's your home promotion. If you're not champion,
here's the thing. Maybe I think I just don't care for it. It's because Deonna Purrazzo did it.
Yeah, everybody's doing the.
Yeah, Austin Aries did it.
Like come on.
So
all within the same year. Like if you spread it out, like
when did
Taya Valkyrie is now like 3 champions, 4 champions. Like come on, guys.
But what was I gonna say?
It's a moneymaker.
FTR. I feel like who did they defeat to win the tag team titles?
Which one?
AAA. I don't even remember who they won the title from.
It's AAA, bro. I like AAA.
I used to follow AAA from like 2007 to like 2016. After that, I just stopped.
I prefer them. I like AAA a lot, but I prefer when they only have Mexican wrestlers. Like I don't want an American. Well, I'm Mexican. Come on, I'm Mexican born in America. But no, I was never a fan of like having the what is it called, extranjeros as champions. Like, I would want a Mexican champion. Like I like Vikaigen. I can't say his name. Vikingo.
Oh yeah.
I like that he's champion. But when it was Jeff Jarrett and when it was like, Kenny Omega.
Jeff Jarrett did a good job carrying the title. The first time.
Yeah.
The first
And
time.
then Kenny Omega holding them. No, like I want a Mexican guy.
Oh,
Holding
Kenny
the
Omega wasn't supposed to be champion for that long. It was because during the pandemic.
And then FTR is AAA champions. Like, come on, man. Like,
I just don't get the hype.
They're great, but they're just like, why have them many titles? Like, at least win your own home title, win the AEW tag team titles. That makes sense. Like, okay, then we go conquer the world. But you conquer the world and going back, and you're not even a contender in your own tag team division. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then you can't even defend the title in Mexico because, or in then New Japan is out because then like, what if like CMLL was like, oh yeah, we also want the tag team title defended in Mexico once in a while, right?
I don't think they'll do that. Oh, so they beat the Lucha Brothers on Dynamite.
For the AAA?
For the AAA. So it wasn't like they went to Mexico to win it. So to me, that's why I don't really care for them. I mean, they are defending the titles against Dragon Lee and
Dralistico.
Yeah, there you go. What is that? Triple Mania 30.
Okay, cool. That's
so, and I think that one's in October.
I'd rather have Dragon Lee and Dralistico win that.
Yeah, in October,
and they could actually have the belt and actually be like, oh, where the.
And then they defeated the Briscoes for the Ring of Honor title, but they did it at Ring of Honor show, Super Card of Honor. So that one's cool. That makes sense. But the Triple Mania, I mean the Triple A tag team title, it's like you won it on the AEW show.
Yeah, I think they should not always do crossovers on everything. Like do one crossover here and there, Yeah. But it's like all of a sudden like, oh, I'm gonna defend a different company's title on your show. Like just do it on your own. Do it in their turf, their territory. Like,
yeah, it would have made sense to me if I probably would have appreciated it more if they would have won it there. When did they won and then they won the IWPG tag team titles on AEW show. So it's like they won both titles except for the Ring of Honor, but I don't know, it's just
doesn't seem that like.
I think it's just because I don't really care for FTR. I like them. Would I book them to become a good tag team and stuff like that? Yeah, I wouldn't bury them.
So let's say like right now, right? We had our wrestling promotion, right?
Right.
Obviously, I would book them to be on the show, but would you book them as our tag team champions? Let's say we started a wrestling promotion, like let's say we actually do it. Or do you want like a homegrown guy tag team like?
It really depends, to be honest, because it's like, where's our first? So now
they'll bring the seats. They'll bring the people.
So
but long term, you're gonna have your title like in a box somewhere.
Well, here's the thing. So like, well, if we're booking a show and we draw, let's say like we're an indie show, and they're going against a homegrown tag team, I will have them win the titles first.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then if I had the choice of, booking them or the Briscoes, I'm gonna go with the Briscoes. So it's like
Briscoes are like, these.
I will book them. Like if I had the choice to either book one or the other, I would go with the Briscoes. But if I had the choice, if I'm able to book both of them, then I will have the Briscoes go over still. But it's not like I'm gonna be like, hey, Briscoes, bury these guys. No, I'll be like, hey, you guys got 30 minutes. You know what I mean? I won't be, yeah, like, I wouldn't be like, oh, yeah, you guys got 8 minutes. No, I'll be like, you guys got 30 minutes. Even if I put DDR as like, hey, you're going against a homegrown team.
DDR?
Yeah.
Oh, FTR.
FTR, my bad.
Oh, like, what's DD?
FTR, I'll still be like, hey, you guys got 30 minutes.
Yeah.
So again, I have nothing against them. I think they're just overhyped. That's all it is. That's it.
I want him to win the AEW tag. I mean, obviously, I like the fact that Keith Lee and
Swerve.
But that's gonna be they only did that because Young Bucks are like, we don't want the titles right now.
Well, they weren't supposed to win the titles because of what happened with the Jungle Boy.
Jungle Boy and
something happened.
Luchasaurus?
I thought Jungle Boy got hurt, and that's why Christian turned heel on him.
I don't know anymore.
But then people were saying that he got hurt during the time where Christian turned heel. So, but then I heard Jungle Boy's going into this match hurt. Yeah. Oh no, wasn't the Hardys?
The Hardys supposed to win it at Forbidden Door.
Was it?
Jeff Hardy got.
Yeah, because I heard I heard the Hardy Boys were supposed to win the titles.
Yeah.
But then Jeff Hardy was hurt, so apparent. No, this was before all that. Because Jeff Hardy getting arrested, that's what took Matt Hardy out. But apparently Jeff Hardy was gonna get taken out before the match, and then Matt Hardy was gonna go out there alone, and then eventually he was gonna get out of it. Like he was only gonna be there for like 5 minutes, and then he was gonna kayfabe, because he was gonna go into that match hurt too.
Oh, okay.
So, but apparently the original plan was for the Hardys to win, and then Jeff got hurt, and then Matt got hurt, and then Jeff with the whole being arrested. So that's the storyline got scratched.
Yeah.
So, but apparently Young Bucks are gonna be taking time off, and they're gonna come back for All Out apparently.
Yeah. Okay.
And apparently Kenny Omega's gonna still be out for the rest of the year, which is crazy.
And also, I think they were going to give the test to Ortiz and Santana, but they're not in good terms right now. So they're probably going to split for sure. And then I think Santana or Ortiz, he's going to leave. He's like,
one of them is hurt. I don't remember who.
I think Santana.
Okay.
But then he's the one that's like, I don't want to be with this guy anymore.
Yeah, their contract is coming up too.
Yeah, like 200 days or whatever.
Yeah, it's probably less than that.
I mean, in the tag team division, who were they got Swerving Glory, which is, I mean,
they got the Young Bucks still. Yeah. They got the gun club. They got
Dark Order's still a thing.
Yeah, they still have, it's still a thing. And then they got the House of Black,
which is, I'm like surprised they haven't won a title at all. They got like any title, like not even a tag.
Well, now Aleister Black is facing what's his name?
Andrade?
No. Miro. What's his name? Rusev. They're having a feud.
Miro,
yeah, they're feuding. But then apparently he's like, "Oh, I'm thinking about joining the group." Something I don't know what's going on.
We're facing each other. We're gonna be a team. Maybe.
Yeah, but I don't know. But anyways, even though All Out is still a long way to go, is there a certain match you want to see take place at All Out? For me, nothing.
Like the roster, I don't know. They're getting rid of a few people, so I'm like, who?
For me, I would like to see Jon Moxley face. See, it's the fact that he's the interim, champion, because it's like you will have. He needs to hold. He needs to hold the title to face CM Punk, but. I mean, obviously, I wanted to see Jon Moxley versus CM Punk, but if he's still gonna be out, I guess I would like to see him face Aleister Black
or Malachi Black.
Malachi Black at All Out. I feel like that would be good.
Yeah, now you think about it, I would. I don't know, Jericho.
I wouldn't want to see Jericho face Jon Moxley at All Out.
I'll do Moxley versus like.
I mean, I wouldn't mind Moxley, Mox.
Jericho.
I'm all over the place. Yeah. I would love to see CM Punk versus Chris Jericho at All Out because they face each other at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
So having them face each other at All Out, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, or Moxley versus what was that one guy? See, I remember that for a while they did a random match. It was like, what about Adam Page? He's been like, is he injured?
No.
No, what? Where is he then?
I don't even know.
So, is he ever like gone his?
Last thing I heard, no.
That'd be a good one.
Jon Moxley versus Adam Page.
Yeah, like what happened to that? Like, don't you have a rematch clause or something, or is that the?
I don't even know what they're doing.
Did his ranking go down or something? I don't even know that ranking system anymore.
I have no idea what's going on.
What do you think about Claudio Castagnoli?
Claudio Castagnoli?
Yeah,
Castagnoli. It's been a while.
Cesaro.
Yeah,
I remember him as Claudio back in.
No, because he's with the Blackpool. What they're called again?
Blackpool Combat Club.
Yeah, something like that. I only watch AEW's pay-per-view. I don't follow it like that.
What do you think about him though? Like joining, you think he's gonna be like another guy?
Well, he's just there. He's just there because of Daniel Bryan. So, but it's gonna be him versus Jonathan Gruesome for the Ring of Honor Championship Death Before Dishonor. TNA Impact Wrestling Slammiversary. They're coming back, and then Slammiversary was a big hit. I know I never really had a chance to talk about that, but I'll rate that pay-per-view 8 out of 10. It was a really great pay-per-view. Yeah. Kind of regret not going there to see it live.
Where was it?
Nashville, Tennessee. Oh, it was the at the Asylum.
The Asylum?
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
So kind of snooze on that one.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of hoping to go to All Out this year or next year. I'm hoping to go to Bound for Glory this year or next year, depending on where the location is at. Yeah. And then I'm trying to go to WrestleMania. So I'm trying to hit the big pay-per-view events within a year. Damn, I want to be able to say that. That's going to be on my bucket list.
What about, I would also do New Japan in Mexico.
You're going to fly all the way over there? I mean, I would love to go. I would love to go to the Tokyo Dome. Tokyo Dome, bro. I would.
Yeah, I would go to the Tokyo
Bro,
Dome.
I would cry.
Or Garden. I'll do all like the big shows.
Yeah, I want to be able to say all that.
Yeah.
I feel Mexico. I don't think that's ever gonna happen for me.
Arena Mexico, I would do that.
I don't think.
Arena Mexico.
I would do it, but I don't. I'm not saying I won't do it. I just feel like I highly doubt that would happen.
But I'm not saying like within this year, next year.
No. I'm saying I know, but I'm saying in general. I feel like it would never happen. I feel like New Japan, because it's more. I want to go to Tokyo and then also see the Tokyo Dome. So I feel like that's more, because that's definitely on my bucket list. Yeah. But man, we've been talking for a long time, so it's time to wrap this up. But before we go, ever give a shout out to mention our merch.
Yeah. Listeners, before we go, check out our merch store on teespring.com. Search for New Entry Wrestling Podcast. We got cool shirts and more. Also follow us on Instagram and TikTok at New Entry Wrestling Pod. Also check us out on YouTube.
Yeah.
And check us out. Follow, subscribe. Obviously, we're trying to be in more social medias, but we'll let you know how that goes.
Yeah.
That was our merch. And all right, listeners, this will be it for this episode. I am Ever. And that is Ian.
And we are out.
Bye, guys.
Doo-doo-doo!
Yay!